Hello everybody, welcome to the millionth video you've probably seen about Andrew Tate, or Taint, depending on how you feel about him. Andrew Tate is actually an artist from the Renaissance era. One of his most famous works is Women Must Cook, Clean, and Obey.
Women, let's cut to the chase here. Women should clean up. Not only should women clean up, women should clean up unprompted. And I'm going to tell you why. It's very, very simple. We live in a world where things need to be fair, 50-50, gender equality, blah, blah. I pay for things unprompted. You don't have to ask me to pay for shit. If we go for dinner, I'll get my wallet out, pay at the end. Don't even check the price of the bill. My card always works. You walk into a house and you see mess. Why is your lazy ass not doing the right thing and start picking and cleaning shit up?
Another great work of his is his review of Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is a bitch.
The best way I can describe Andrew Tate is basically the definition of toxic masculinity.
If a woman is going out with a man, she belongs to that man. That's his woman. So she wants to do OnlyFans. She owes him some money because she's his.
Well, that's crazy. That one's crazy.
So you think that a man going out with a girl, that's just your property?
That one was nuts.
I'm nuts now. Good.
That's just one example of the insane shit this guy says. Here's another.
I was getting on a plane and I could see through the cockpit that a female was a pilot, and I took a picture and I said, most women I know can't even park a car. Why is a woman flying my plane? And they banned.
Andrew is a very wealthy man.
Well, what color's your Bugatti?
He's been a thing on the internet for years now, specifically in the commentary community. Mista Gigi and Leon Lush have done really funny videos about him, so I've known about him for a while. But he's recently skyrocketed in popularity. You've probably been seeing him everywhere imaginable. Because of this new popularity, he's attracted a lot more hate than before, which is to be expected. Naturally, people are going to see what he says and not like it. But he also has an insane amount of supporters, mostly young men, no surprise there. A lot of his supporters will say he's bringing back masculinity. They call him the Top G.
Top G?
Top G!
Girls hate Andrew Tate is because he's bringing back the strong masculinity.
Top G stands for top gay. Did you know? Despite being known as the Top G, Andrew Tate is in fact a bottom. Not that any of that would be bad, obviously. I feel the need to say that because of today's climate. But I thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny. Andrew is indoctrinating the youth. I'll be walking through the hallway at school and hear a group of 7th graders saying women are inferior.
Female are barely sentient.
And they'll be discussing Andrew Tate. I feel like he's breeding a new generation of incels. Tate sells. He's got this website where he sells this course called Hustlers University. It's a pyramid scheme. I don't have time to get into it, nor do I want to, but Danny Gonzalez did a good video on it, so go watch that. And finally, to end this introduction to Andrew off with a bang, there are some very serious allegations against Andrew, from sex trafficking to domestic abuse. I can't speak to the validity of any of those claims, and topics like that, especially when the validity of the claims is up in the air, they deserve time and care when discussed. And I can't go more than a minute without making a stupid joke, or else I start convulsing. Anyways, as I said earlier, Andrew has had this massive surge in popularity recently. He's everywhere, or was everywhere, because he's just been banned from basically every social media. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, blah blah.
Blah, blah.
He's also been banned from Daddy's Discord server. A lot of people are in support of the ban. Others think it's a violation of freedom of speech. I will say, I think that overall, the ban was a good thing. His content pushed a lot of harmful ideologies, such as misogyny, that have no place anywhere, and he is not a good person whatsoever, so him not having any influence is a good thing. Also, he definitely violated a few policies. A lot of the social medias he was banned from have policies where outside behavior outside of the site can get you banned on that social media. It's common sense not to let someone spew racism everywhere. I don't see why it shouldn't be the same with misogyny. But I think there is a point to be made about freedom of speech, and how banning someone just because you don't like what they're saying isn't necessarily the way to go. I think the world is a better place without him having this massive platform, but I can also see how the ban can set a dangerous precedent. Nonetheless, in remembrance of Andrew's social media, I will be doing the rest of this video shirtless. Now, personally, I'm not sure exactly where my opinion falls on the ban, but Andrew definitely is. First, he had a few theories as to why he was banned. First off is it was a glitch, and my personal favorite is he's being targeted as a person of color. I will say, as awful and harmful as Andrew can be, he is kind of funny sometimes. One of the first actual statements I could find from Andrew on the ban was from NBC News.
The media is spinning a false image of me on repeat, and Instagram bowing to pressure is a massive shame. I will always have millions of fans around the world, and my platform will be a beacon of light. teaching people of all genders and races how to respect one another for years to come. Now these fans cannot learn important lessons of love.
Boom! Get the fuck in the kitchen. Get the fuck in the kitchen.
I was almost done with this video. I felt accomplished, fulfilled, satisfied. Then this dude drops an hour-long response video. Now I have to watch that.
1 hour, 13 minutes, and 21 seconds later.
Since Andrew has been banned from every relevant social media, he wasn't allowed to upload this video to YouTube. But Book of Tate was. I just had to give an hour and 13 minutes of watch time to a channel called The Book of Tate. I've sinned. I am suffering for you guys. I hope you know that. I'm just going to go over a few points that he makes and respond to them. First off, my man has his own channel pulled up in the background. Tate. He talks about clips and jokes he's made being taken out of context.
I have a problem with long format things I've said being taken out of context, taking a small clip from a 2-hour piece of video, then with careful editing, removing of tonality, and changing my intention behind the words, painting me to be a criminal or a bad person when I am not.
That is fair. It does happen to Andrew a lot.
The fuck in the kitchen.
But the overall misogynistic views that he promotes, and the main thing he's being criticized for, has nothing to do with context. For example, him saying women are partially responsible for being sexually assaulted is disgusting and horrible and not good in any context. Andrew will constantly say disgusting, horrible, and harmful things like that, but complain about them being taken out of context. If you are a raging sexist, and you make a sexist joke, and that sexist joke is taken out of context to make it look like it wasn't a joke, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because of every non-ironic, sexist thing you've ever said. Also, these short-form clips are clearly a part of his marketing scheme. He seemingly encourages these clips to be posted everywhere. It helps him. It is exactly his game plan. So, it seems incongruous to now complain about those same short-form clips. Back to business. He sucks himself off a little bit.
Became the most Googled man on the planet. I am, by the metrics of the internet, the most famous individual who is currently alive in the world today. I have affected positively millions of people.
I'm sure he has helped many in some ways. Some of his values when it comes to hard work that he pushes onto his fans can be helpful, but part of that also involves scamming them out of their money. But, as I've discussed, he's also had a very negative impact. He's seemingly given many young men a very misogynistic worldview. Before we continue, I just want to talk about the comments on this video.
Long live Tate. Made a big impact on us all.
This is cult-like. They're treating him like he's the second coming of Christ.
Tate value. Not sure what that means. Even the most important and great historical figures had people trying to bring them down. Even Jesus himself did.
There it is. He also talks about and defends himself from the allegations against him, the criminal ones. He says he's innocent, and he does give some reasons for that. But again, I have no flag in that moon. He mentions how he's donated to a lot of charities, and nobody's talking about that. It's good that he did that. It also doesn't negate every horrible thing about him. He, of course, plugs his pyramid scheme.
You can't protect anything if you're not strong. Strength is a beautiful thing. The world is built on the backs of strong men, and I'm trying to teach men to be strong again.
And that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, this does not really affect him. He's not going to change. His life will go on. He's still rich. He's still bald. He's the same dude with the same life. Social media just might not be as big of a part of it. Throughout this video, I've made it clear that I do not like Andrew Tate in the slightest, but I will say he does make some good points sometimes.
If you're thirsty, you're dehydrated. I have this thing where if I ever find myself thirsty and dehydrated, what I do is I drink the whole bottle at once. And the reason I do this is to rehydrate myself, because the reason I'm thirsty is because I'm dehydrated.
Can't argue with him there.